Cancer, welcome. Welcome back. If you're returning, this is Crow Indigo Intuitive Tarot. And we have a special read for Cancer. Since it is your birthday month now, we have a little bit of an extra bonus for Cancer. Probably won't be doing this for all of the signs, but maybe on their birthday month first readout, we'll do that for them as well. But for you today, we have 3 piles. This is a slightly different reading style than I normally use. We have 3 piles here. Those of you interested in love, those of you interested in money and career, and other. If your questions that you're seeking answers for have to do with something other than love or money / career, then this 3rd pile will be relevant to you. So you can just take a moment and center yourself. We'll do this weekly read in a different way than we normally do. Like I said, standardly, my approach is not to do these pick a card, pick a pile, multiple readings, but I wanted to do something special for you, Cancer, because a lot of you support my channel. We have perhaps the largest number of repeat viewers are from your sign. So I wanted to give you a little birthday gift. So let's see what we have for you. This is, again, a general reading because I cannot make it very specific to each individual viewing this video. But if you find something here that speaks to you and you'd like to explore it further, you are, of course, welcome to send me an email. The information is in the description below. And we can set up a private reading for you, okay? So, for love, we're working today with 3 decks. We're working with the This Might Hurt Tarot. Fantastic deck. Love this deck. I've given this away in a giveaway before, and I'm likely to do that again sometime soon. Fantastic. Isabella Rotman is the artist, creator of this deck. We're also working with the Oracle of Mystical Moments from Catrin, Welz-Stein, and the Sacred Destiny Oracle from Denise, Linn. Okay, so let's look at love first. For those of you looking for love, we have the Hanged Man, the Star, and the Wheel of Fortune. 3 major arcana, Cancer, in your love reading this week. Pretty significant stuff going on for you, I think, this week in the realm of love. There's a change of perspective here that brings some healing, and things start to move forward in a positive way. These are very encouraging energies we're seeing here. Your hope and faith in things working out well is renewed by something that's happening this week. There's a sense here in these cards energetically for me of not getting overly excited, not getting to the point of outward elation about the changes that happen this week, but sort of inside starting to feel more positive, starting to feel hopeful. And whomever this reading is for, this is a situation, there's an existing relationship possibly of some sort. It's not quite what you want it to be. And what I'm sensing here is that, I don't know if it's something that you're learning. It's more of your internal work, I think. You're starting to understand the situation differently. You're starting to appreciate the people involved in a different way, sort of understand yourself a little bit better and what matters most to you. And in doing some internal work, it feels like, you're starting to see things differently. And that's making you more hopeful about this relationship becoming what you want it to be. And the Wheel of Fortune here, these are factors you don't control. This is life. This is change. This is, in the case of the upright here, forward momentum toward the outcome that you would hope for. So that's really wonderful stuff. For the Oracle of Mystical Moments, you have number 36, the House of Flowers. I'm just going to take a look in the book for you on that one. Power of nature, joy of life, diversity, and beauty. Out of this small white house on the top of a hill burst flowers, full of life and rich colors. It is like an explosion. The two ladies walking by look tiny in comparison to the giant falling leaves. They enjoy the enormity of nature, the power of diversity, but even a single bloom in a vase can transform a space, each petal a world unto itself and a wonder of creation. This card signals love for life in this moment full of energy, beauty, and joy. So, what we have here in your card from the Oracle of Mystical Moments is a joy and a love of life. I can't get it to focus for you. You see those tiny little ladies they were talking about. This is just like a complete appreciation for life going on, and I think that that joy in being alive and the wonders around you could be contributing to the positive experience that you're having in the realm of love. It could be an outcome of feeling so positive about the prospects of this relationship changing. Your sacred destiny oracle this week is purification. You see this card? Purification. Let's take a look in the book for that one. Oh, it's right there. Summer rain is this card. Traditionally, rain symbolizes rebirth and washing one's sins away. Water is also associated with emotions, and a summer rain can represent the release of long-held emotions that allow for a purification and inner healing. This is also a renewal aspect of rain. The old saying, April showers bring May flowers, means that what follows the rain is a time of renewal and blossoming. Interesting, the blossoming, the imagery of flowers keeps coming up. That sense of renewal is always a very strong message for me in the energy around the star card as well, where you have this healing feeling to it. For me, not all readers read it that way, but that hope and that faith renewed really feel like a healing energy to me, and the purification card is bringing that message forward for you as well. The sacred landscape wants you to know it's difficult for new, vibrant energy to enter your life if it is clogged with old and outdated energy. Cleanse and purify your body and your physical space. This is a great time for a detox, clutter clearing, cleansing, and space clearing. Release outdated energy to invite fresh, clear energy into your life. Eat lightly. Don't take things personally. Release resentment, guilt, and blame. Purify yourself, thought, word, and deed. Decluttering is the modern-day alchemy. If you don't love it or use it, let it go. This card can also represent abundance, as flowing water is a metaphor for prosperity and summer is a time of expansion. Pardon me a moment. Get a sip of water. So there's a lot of energy around clearing out the old, changing your perspective, making space in your life for this new development that you're hoping for. So there are some hopeful signs this week in the realm of love and relationship and wanting, some progress in your wanting this relationship to change into something different, something deeper, and blossom. And there is here definitely a message of clearing away, making space for what is coming, because something definitely is coming. Something you've been waiting on is headed your way. So that's beautiful. So that's what we have for you, Cancer, with regard to the questions around love. I'm just going to put these out of the way so we can focus on the next one. For those of you interested in questions of money and career, let's see what we have for you. We have the Magician, the Six of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. Interesting energies there for you. There is a strong message here that I'm picking up that making the changes you want appear as if by magic, this magician, transforming the elements and the resources available to you into what you want them to become. In that energy, there's this companion message coming through that says getting where you want to go involves, one, appreciating where you are, where you've been, and two, defending the progress you've made, being 100% in your own corner here, defending what you have built, what you have created, taking ownership of the good and the bad in your past, in your present, and really being authentically you and 100% focused on your goal. Your biggest goal is going to let you get to a space where you can manifest what you want financially, professionally. So examples coming to mind, if there's a project you've been working on and it's sort of stalled, it's not really feeling quite as sexy to you as it once did when you started working on it, it's still your project. It's still yours and you own it, and you need to be a good steward to that idea that you began working on and bring it to its completion. And if it doesn't end up flourishing in the way you had hoped, you still take ownership. You don't try to deflect. You don't try to blame someone else for the failure. Even if other people have dropped the ball, ultimately it's in taking ownership of that project as your own and acknowledging that if person A dropped the ball and that's why it wasn't successful, ultimately you are responsible because you chose person A to work on the project, or you allowed person A to work on the project if someone else put them on the project with you. You didn't take steps that would have made that not the case. And I can sense some of you getting defensive, and that's exactly the thing that needs to be worked on if you are to move forward and manifest what you want your career to be, what you want your income to be. It's in taking 100% ownership of everything you touch, everything you're involved in, and accepting that mistakes happen and they're a great way to learn, and not going out trying to make mistakes. Certainly, some people will tell you that that's how you succeed. Go out there and make a bunch of mistakes. I don't agree with that, and that's not what I'm hearing from these cards today. What I'm sensing here is if a mistake happens, then you own it and you find the way forward past it. You don't blame someone else because it failed. And so if there is some project out there you've been working on and it's just sort of fallen flat for you, you don't feel that sense of ownership in it anymore, you're being encouraged to take that back, to give it another look, to complete it, because getting where you want to be is all about appreciating what you have and where you've been, and defending what is yours and taking ownership of your ideas, and really integrating all parts of yourself into this space of authenticity, because being truly yourself is really what's going to get you where you want to go. That's what I'm seeing there. For your Oracle of Mystical Moments, we have 23, the gift. Let me show you the card. And we'll read to you. Number 23. Again, this is specifically focused on work, money, career for Cancer for this week. The gift. Whimsy, excitement, curiosity, gift. Under a snowy sky, a woman with feathered hair holds a little box. What is inside the box? We don't know for sure, but it seems to be a gift. Simple on the outside, but perhaps magical within. We can only imagine what would happen if we could tug the string and peer inside. Would it be the fulfillment of an old wish? Remember the curiosity we have before opening presents, the magical space between dreams and truth. A gift reminds us of the excitement we have in those special moments. The curiosity we have before opening the present. So that feeling of excitement about the potential, you're needing to hold on to that feeling even when it gets hard, even when it's not that anticipation anymore. Once you're in it, once you've received the gift, once you've opened the box, it's finding a way to maintain that level of delight and intrigue and desire for what is in the box. That is what is going to help you now to progress professionally, financially. Your sacred destiny oracle is change. Okay, we'll look at that one as well. Dancing clouds. Throughout time, people have looked to the heavens for signs, and in the ever-changing movement of the clouds, they have seen shapes and forms that seem to be direct messages from the Creator. Clouds are shapeshifters. This essence is the same, but they can change from mist. Their essence is the same, but they can change from mist to rain to ice to snow to water. The transient nature of clouds lends the understanding that life is transitory and ever-changing. The sacred landscape wants you to know it's okay to change your mind. It's all right to change directions. You do not need to be consistent. This is a time to put needs and expectations of others aside and listen to the beat of your own drum. You don't need to follow tradition. Create your own traditions. You're free to express yourself and let your spirit fly. Be daring. Go beyond predictable behavior. Just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean that it needs to continue to be done that way. You can't control the exact circumstances of your life, but you can control what meaning you give to them. Select meanings that empower you, for this is the time to be carefree, wild, and unpredictable. So, maybe it's always been the case that if a project starts to wane or isn't very interesting anymore, that people in your industry just leave it unfinished and move on to the next hot thing. What you're hearing here in this collection of cards is really to be your own person. And if it's not feeling like, there's any possibility that this project is going to be of value to you, I'm not telling you that you have to spend the next 2 years working on something you hate, but you need to own that decision, essentially. And if you're not giving it all of the attention that you'd like to, because there's generally a trend toward not doing so, pardon me, got a hair in my throat, I think. If you're inclined to leave it and move on to something else because others are putting pressure on you to do that, there's a really strong message here to say no, to take ownership. That keeps coming through. If you want to manifest the future you desire, you need to own your choices and not let yourself say, well, I didn't have any say. I didn't have the right to make a choice. You always do. And it's the folks that are 100% themselves and take ownership of their ideas and their actions that are going to be able to move forward now and manifest what they desire. So I think that's what we have there for work, money, profession type of questions for you, Cancer. And we'll move on now to the other, which is any other questions you have, any other area of life. It could be friendships, it could be about your home, it could be about travel, it could be about some hobby that you have, just a million different things this could be. So this will be very general in my reading, but we'll see what the energies are that we find here. Maybe that'll give you some clue if it's going to be resonating for you. The Empress, the Six of Swords, the Two of Swords. For those of you that are looking for the guidance in the other category, which again, very broad, not love, not work or money, these cards are saying there's a really strong desire to create. You're bringing something into this world that isn't here yet in some fashion. And because of your desire to do that, because of this compulsion to create, you're realizing there's some things you need to leave behind. And more particularly, there's one relationship perhaps that you just need to distance yourself from. It doesn't need to be full of animosity. It doesn't need to be a big fight and a breakup and walking away. Whether that's a friendship or something else, there's the possibility that it's leaving an intimate relationship of some sort. Even though this isn't a love reading, it's more about what you're wanting to create, but that, we don't live in silos. There could be some relationship that's getting in the way of you creating what you're meant to create right now. Or the way you're meant to connect. I'm getting that sort of strongly at the moment, that there's some way you're meant to connect with the world, with people in the world. And there's one relationship that's kind of in the way of that right now. I don't know, that may be very specific to only some of you, but there's a difficult choice here that needs making. I don't think it's whether to distance yourself from this person or not. I feel like that's already the decision you've made. You know that needs to happen. The difficult choice is something else. It may be how to do it. It may be how to maintain the friendships around this friendship that you're walking away from, because you don't want to lose that whole group of friends, or that whole group of clients, but there may be one client you need to step away from. Yeah, I'm not really seeing what the choice is, just that this decision is giving rise to a difficult choice. So let's take a look at your Oracle of Mystical Moments. We have 47, my dear friend. And it's a deer. Let's see what the book has to say. We have some lovely thunderstorms outside right now. They just started when I started doing your reading. 47, my dear friend. Lifelong friendship, dependability, solidarity. If you call the card the journey, you may recognize a familiar scene here with a woman riding a deer, but this time both the woman and the deer are much older. Time has passed and the two are still companions. They have seen many seasons together, many sunny joys and cold sorrows. Their wisdom has grown. Like the graceful antlers the woman holds for comfort, the deer supports her, and she returns a loving touch to her dear friend. So this is speaking to someone that has been with you a long time, a friend who has been through a lot with you. And it seems almost that the difficult choice here is how do you make sure that this friend knows how much they mean to you, how much they've meant to you, how much you rely on each other, and how precious they are to you, even as you're stepping away, even as you're putting some space here, either between you and this friend or someone that this person also is close to. Let's take a look at your other card here. Pleasure. I'll look up the meaning for this one for you. You see there's a deer there as well. Maybe something about that deer energy. Something about deers. It's relevant to you. That's interesting. That there's a deer on both cards. This looks to be a rather young deer. Pleasure. Luscious meadow. Meadows are usually open, sunny places where flora and fauna thrive and flourish. They are havens, as the trees surrounding the meadow offer protection and shade for the grassy area. Traditionally, they are associated with openness, gentle calm, and relaxation. They are places where the weary traveler can stop and rest to renew his spirit. A meadow is a place where people, as well as animals, gather to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. The sacred landscape wants you to know, savor your life, each and every part of it. Take pleasure in slowing down and experiencing each of your senses. Taste your food with full gusto. Inhale the scents of the world around you. Enjoy the colors and textures of your life. This is truly a stop and smell the roses card. Embrace your sensuality. Move in a languid way. Let pleasures be your password into every intimate part of your life. Allow your life to be less about being productive and more about enjoying each moment with verve, and a radiant energy will flow through you in all directions in your life. So, making some space for yourself to really experience life, the feeling of it, is going to be calming for you now. It seems there's a certain amount of tension and stress here in this week for you, where you're making some decisions and standing up for yourself, authentically owning what is yours, and your creation, your creativity, letting that speak, and making the hard choices that need to be made to support that, to support you. Give yourself some space this week to just enjoy moments, a really good meal, a wonderful bath, sitting outside listening to the rain, finding a meadow and just watching all of the different aspects of life that you can see there. This could be quite calming and quite enriching for you at this time. Really, in all three of these readings this week for you, Cancer, there's some big stuff going on. There's some big energy shifts for you, and not surprisingly necessarily, given that it is your birthday month, that we have had this really significant new moon Cancer eclipse recently, where we're very close now to another full moon eclipse. And I think just be gentle with you is the overall message, but be you, be authentically you. Let yourself embrace who you are and let the world see it, because there's some really, really beautiful new waiting to come to you when you have mastered those lessons. So I think that's where I will leave it. Again, this isn't the standard every week reading, but for you, Cancer, since it's your birthday month, and I wanted to do a little something special for all of you folks that are here week after week. We have today just the extended reading. So if any of that resonated for you, I'd love to see some feedback in the comments section. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. And we'll see you next week. Blessings.